Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. Before we dive into the story, I have some exciting news. I've launched a new YouTube channel called Soulfell Chronicles. I'll be sharing even more captivating stories there, so please check it out. Don't forget to show your support by liking and subscribing. You'll find the link in the description box. Now, let's get started. It began subtly, almost imperceptible at first. My wife Sandy and I had been married for years, and like any couple, we'd weathered our share of ups and downs. But this time was different. Sandy grew distant in ways I couldn't quite put my finger on. Conversations became one-sided, and the laughter that once filled our home faded into an unsettling silence. At first, I thought it was just stress. We'd gone through a rough patch after a fire destroyed our old house, forcing us to move into my grandmother's place. It wasn't Sandy's idea of a fresh start, and I tried to be understanding. But it became clear this wasn't just about the fire. Little signs began to pile up. She started coming home late, citing meetings that didn't seem to exist. Her phone, once casually left on the kitchen counter, became an extension of her hand, always tilted away from me. Then there were nights when she conveniently forgot to wear her wedding ring, claiming it didn't fit right anymore. I tried to brush it off, telling myself that relationships go through phases. Maybe we just needed to find our way back to each other. But it soon became apparent that I was the only one trying. The turning point wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet, mundane moment. One evening, I suggested watching her favorite show together, something we used to do religiously. She barely looked up from her phone. "No, I'm tired," she said flatly. Later that night, I saw her laughing at something on her screen. Not a casual meme, but the kind of laughter that makes you feel alive. That was when I knew. I wrestled with doubt, wondering if I was overreacting, but the evidence was overwhelming. The late nights, the guarded phone, the sudden change in wardrobe, and the complete lack of intimacy. I could no longer ignore it. The hardest part wasn't the suspicion. It was the waiting. Waiting to catch her in a lie. Waiting for her to care enough to hide it. Waiting for the inevitable confrontation. One winter evening, I came home to an empty driveway and a dark porch. My stomach knotted with unease. Inside, Sandy was in our room, applying makeup. But this wasn't her usual touch-up. She wore a black dress I'd never seen before. Short, revealing, paired with towering stilettos. "Are we going somewhere?" I asked, keeping my tone even. She met my gaze in the mirror without a hint of guilt. "No," she said flatly. "I have a date." The words hung in the air, sharp and cutting. But I didn't react the way she expected. No yelling, no begging. Just calm resolve. "Not while we live under the same roof," I said. "If you want out, pack your things and go. I'll file for divorce." Her eyes flashed with defiance. "I'm not leaving," she sneered. "This house is mine." The night spiraled into chaos. Threats, manipulations, and a desperate attempt on her part to assert control. But she underestimated me. When she stormed out, intent on driving away in her car, she found it disabled. Frustration turned to rage as she discovered her phone wouldn't work either. By the end of that chaotic night, Sandy's reckless actions led to her arrest after crashing into a police cruiser. The scene was surreal, but it marked the beginning of the end. The divorce was messy but swift. Sandy's threats and schemes backfired spectacularly. In the end, I walked away with my dignity intact and a renewed sense of freedom. Life after Sandy was a journey of rediscovery. I rebuilt my life, reconnected with old friends, and found joy in simple things again. And fate had one more surprise in store. I reconnected with Sergeant Sweetie, the officer who arrested Sandy. One thing led to another, and we got married. It's been the happiest time of my life. Looking back, I don't hold any anger towards Sandy. Those chaotic days taught me resilience and self-worth. Life doesn't always go as planned, but sometimes the detours lead you exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and support the channel with a like and subscribe. See you next time!